I love it. Okay, so I asked you, how many of you were in pain? How many of you have noticed a lessening of pain, physically, mentally, or emotionally? All righty. We have only just begun. Because this is what love does. Even beginning a conversation on love will start to shift you. Because love is a power. Love is a power. It's not a sentimentality. It's not an idea. It's not a Hallmark card. Love is a power. And what the world, well, you know that song, What the World Needs Now is Love, Sweet Love? It's not sweet love. It's love, powerful love. Because frankly, the world seems to be stuck. And I've noticed some people get stuck too. Not mentioning any names. So let's just let it all flow together. The theme for this month is love changes everything, and it changes everything because it's a power. It's a power. It's a nice song, it's a nice idea, but we also need to prove it. Otherwise, it stays at the level of platitude and doesn't get to move into the area of power. But first, before I do that, I want to talk about the ages of human existence. I was like, what? History lesson? How many of you loved history? Oh, good, you'll be happy. Okay, we had the prehistoric age. That meant it was before history. I mean, not before history, but before recorded history. Before people were writing things down. They couldn't write things down. They were too busy hunting and gathering just to survive. Just to make it through the season of the winter. Hunter, gathering, and put it away someplace. And then migrate and follow the whatever they're hunting. And along the way, in the springtime, they could, eat a berry or something. Then there was the agricultural age. This was the domestication of plants and animals. Now you might say plants, yes, because wheat was growing here and it wasn't growing there, but they found that when they went there, somebody brought them some wheat seeds, they were able to grow the wheat or the barley or the whatever, plant the trees, fruit trees, domesticate animals, put them in a pen, or know how to train a dog to bring them in, or whatever. Oh, by the way, okay, this is a little Kathianne aside, so you love me more. I'm sharing my soul. If I want to ever get energized, I get on YouTube and I watch Border Collies work. For me, we all have our ways to God. For me, it's through Border Collies. Anyway. So they had animals to help them domesticate animals. They had pens. What that allowed them to do is to not be spending their time hunting, gathering, or traveling to where they were going to hunt and gather. That gave them the opportunity to develop communities, trade, and complex societies, like what grew up around the Mediterranean. Then there was the industrial age, not too long ago. Now, wow, watch what happens when we get to the industrial age. There's mechanisms, urbanization, changes in labor, and shifts in the economic activities. It was no longer based on agriculture and trading, spices for something else. It then had to do with machinery and creating things that supposedly made life easier for people. And actually, they didn't work 18 hours anymore. Not everybody had to work 18 hours 7 days a week. So there was a slight shift in improvement. Then we went into the information age, which a lot of us know about, because we've watched it grow faster and faster and faster. It started in the late 20th century, and it became the basis of a lot of our economy with information, technology, communication, and digital innovation. So just think of and I'm old. I remember the phone on the wall. And privacy was how long the cord was. And could you take it into your room? That was like cool. A long time ago, I heard that the only way for the human beings to survive in a way that would really work for everyone is for us to move into the consciousness age. Because more information does not mean a better life. It just means that we can bring about our demise faster and more creatively. Information doesn't heal the hurts like love heals hurts. There has to be a shift in the development of consciousness. And I want to share with you what Google says. Information. I want to give you information on consciousness. It's a noun. It's a state of being awake and aware of one's surroundings. Awake. How many of you have been in a situation where you weren't awake to surroundings? You weren't conscious of it. People were doing this and you didn't pay attention. You're on the road and you're not paying attention. Stuff happens and you're not paying attention. You had a significant other. They were doing the money and you weren't paying attention. You signed a contract and you weren't paying attention. Consciousness. It's also the awareness or perception of something by a person. So it's you're conscious of your surroundings and you're paying attention to it. Not just conscious of it, but paying attention. You're awake and aware. And then it is the fact of awareness by the mind of itself. So there's also an inner knowing. When I first came to the center in Seattle, I had a slogan for all of us, which was to be awake, aware, and then at choice. Because if you're not awake to what's going on, you're not aware of how you're participating in it, you're not aware of your inner intentions and thoughts, you can't have real choice. You're just into stimulus, response, stimulus, response, stimulus, response. So awake and aware gives us choice. That's being conscious. That's the consciousness age. Hopefully, what we talk about here is consciousness, evolving consciousness in ourselves, so that we can then have a positive effect on the evolving consciousness of the world around us. See, information doesn't make us wiser. It takes wisdom to make us wiser. Wisdom. So the theme for the whole year is to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. So we make good choices for ourselves, and we make good choices about how we can affect the world around us. Wisdom, according to Emmett Fox, takes intelligence plus love to create wisdom. When you have intelligence and you have love, you have wisdom. Love without intelligence. Just think of your teen years. How many of you had a whole lot of love and not a lot of intelligence? Yeah. And then how many of you know people, certainly not you, that are really intelligent but no love? Yeah. The two together. Ooh. God inform. God forms us. So we want to blend the two together. We want to blend intelligence and we want to blend love so that we have a consciousness of what love can do. And we're already intelligent. There's something that the only thing that I brought with me out of being a Mormon, and that was that we are a marvelous work and a wonder. That's what they say a lot at a Mormon church. We are a marvelous work and a wonder, and we are a marvelous work and a wonder. Just the intelligence of the cell is mind-boggling. It is a factory that runs so perfectly and self-maintains, and then it replaces itself. I mean, come on. And then you got all these cells working together. Such intelligence. Do you know that your body responds before you think? So when somebody darts out in front of you and you push on the brake, you get the adrenaline rush after you've pushed on the brake because the body has already responded, because the eyes are telling the leg, get going, before the brain knows it and reacts like, it's like a percentage of a second later, but it's responding after the body has. It's so intelligent. The system that we live in is elegant and intelligent. Now we just need a little love. Fill this consciousness with a little love. Love is what is needed to expand our consciousness so that we see beyond facts and information, that we start to see patterns and depth and causation, because otherwise we're just always reacting to the surface of things. And we might fix something, but we don't heal it because the cause is still operating. Wisdom lets us see what causes things to happen. And love, by the way, is a gateway drug. Yep, it's a gateway drug. It will bring you joy and peace and serenity and bliss. Who wouldn't like some more of that? I mean, if this, I'll take one of those. And there's a whole bunch of people back there that did not raise their hands, and this is really scary. It's not a trick, by the way. We're not like, oh, by the way, there'll be little packets that you can take on the way out. Who would like to have, come on, joy, peace, serenity, and bliss? First service was all about it. Yeah. Well, you already got a little bit of that. Just if you had the experience of something giving you pain and it's less now, you're already starting to get the drug. Love is in the air. Our wonderful prayer practitioners were praying for this before you arrived. They were filling the room with love before you arrived. The first service was bubbling with it and overflowing with it before you arrived. So stuff starts to happen, and so if you're noticing a lessening of pain emotionally, mentally, or physically, it's because love is already here, and now you're kind of in it. You're getting it by osmosis. But I'm not done yet. There's more to do. Love will lift us out of, not only will it give us joy, peace, serenity, and bliss, it will lift us out of fear, anxiety, cravings, anger, hate, pride, scorn, apathy, and despair. Now, you know what? If we could bottle that, you'll have to, it'll be on YouTube and you can watch it. But all that icky stuff, love heals. It doesn't heal it. It reveals it has no power. Love's the power. Fear has no power except what we give it. Pride has no power except what we give it. Scorn and apathy and disdain and despair and all that stuff that we can experience, or trepidation about what people might say about us, all that has no power. And so when you fill up with love, and love is power, it just dissipates. See, love is like light. Light doesn't have to fight darkness, it just shows up. Darkness can't say, but I'm here. No, it's like, sorry, light's here. Ha ha. You can't take a box of darkness and unleash it in a room. If it's light, there's no darkness. The same thing with love. Love only, despair and all that other stuff only exists because we have ignored the fact that we can take in love and more love. That there's no end to the love that we can take in. But a lot of us, like our systems, our physical systems are geared to like, yes, that's enough love. How many of you have been there? Yeah. Enough compliments. Yeah. Enough support. Yeah. Enough acknowledgement. It's nothing. I mean, I'm good at this. I know what this is like. I'm in recovery. I need a 12-step program. You know, hi, I'm Kathianne Lewis, and I'm addicted to putting myself down. No, really. You're watching somebody who's worked at this. I used to be a compliment, ding, ding, ding. I was Wonder Woman. Boom, 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 boom. And you're laughing because you know of people or you are one of those. Right? And love changes everything. Love changes everything. It lifts us out of those conditions. So you're not having to think about it, talk about it, work on it. No, love changes everything. And I want to say also that we need to have a lot of compassion for those people around us who we think don't want love, who we think are angry or fearful or whatever, that are seeking, because I got this from David R. Hawkins. Oh, there's this power. I'm basing a lot of my talks today on power versus force, and we did have 10 in the bookstore. People crave what love offers. They just don't want to do it with love. People crave joy, peace, serenity, and bliss. But they think they can get it kind of like in the side door. Like, I'm going to feel serenity when I have so much money that no one can ever take away my serenity. How many of you know people like that? A lot of people seek these things through acquisition. Acquisition of friends, acquisitions of power, acquisition of appreciation that they make happen. See, that's force. A lot of people force those things instead of being lifted into those things through the power of love. And because they seek these things, we seek these things, we are a very addictive society. Had a down day? Too much trouble? Can't even think straight? Nobody appreciates me? Nobody loves me? A martini? And it really just doesn't matter all that much. I'll tell you, one glass of wine and I'm quite the chatterbox. No, really, you think I'm a chatterbox, but not really. No, really. I'm pretty I don't talk much. Give me a glass of wine? Some people know. It helps me get through my shyness instead of just letting love get me through my shyness. My goodness, we even have a drug that will give us ecstasy. Come on. It's short term. It works, and that's why people do it. And there's not just substance abuse, there's process abuse. The process of putting ourselves down and making ourselves small so that no one complains that we're too big for our britches. That's the term that my family used on me. Not wanting to stand out. Not wanting to try something because we don't want to seem like a failure to ourselves. We're addicted to success, so we don't try. Think about it. And love can change everything. I'm just so happy that there is such an opportunity for us to be lifted into a new experience of life. Now, how do we acquire more love? It's there's always light, but we can put a lot of shades down. And there's always love, but we can insulate ourselves because we didn't understand love and we may have mistaken love, or in the name of love, someone did something to us that was hurtful. But but love is always available. So I have 3 things that will help us move into a greater experience of love. 3 things. I like it. Now they're taking notes. By the way, we have little note things in our seat backs, because this is just a talk unless you prove it. This is just like Kathianne was kind of funny today. Gosh, she makes a fool of herself. It's to keep your attention, because I love you. 1, stop complaining. I know. Ooh. This should be a Halloween talk. And then out of the shadows came complaining. I've said this forever. I got it from Emma Curtis Hopkins. It wasn't my idea. She said if there's only one don't in our philosophy, it's don't complain. So it's a ground rule for my classes. It's a ground rule for my retreats. It's a ground rule for going on a trip with me. Don't complain. Not even to yourself. And I've noticed that it's sometimes sneaky. But don't do it. If you got on my Facebook page, if you're still doing Facebook, and the only reason I'm doing Facebook is people are still looking at what I have to share, and I'm brilliant. No, I'm not brilliant. I share other people's stuff that's brilliant. And one of the things I shared is that they've proven that complaining shrinks your brain. Shrinks your brain. I mean, we need all the gray cells we can have, don't go shrinking them. They also proved that it produces cortisone, which is an anxiety hormone. You don't need that either. And I showed, and because I love this whole thing about brain science and synapses, the more you complain, the more the brain gets used to complaining. The brain, the physical, take it out of your head and show it to everybody, brain has synapses, and it gets used to complaining, so then it looks for something to complain about. Those people, that always have a complaint, it's their synapses. Their brain is wired for it. Don't do that. But what they also found is you can be awake to what's going on, be aware of your tendency to complain. There's been times I will actually catch myself and I'll go, wow, that was a complaint waiting to happen, but I didn't do it. So you catch yourself, you don't do it, and pretty soon those synapses change. Pretty soon you don't look for what to complain about, you look for what you want to praise and be grateful for. Number 2, pay attention without complaining to that which hurts. Pay attention without complaining to that which hurts. Attention is love. Because if somebody says they love you but they don't pay attention to you, you really question if they loved you. Don't you? Really? You love me? My mother, no. Never mind. There wasn't a lot of attention, and I really felt unloved. I don't think that they would say they didn't love me. I just don't think I was in their awareness. So it was interpreted as no love. So when you have a body part that hurts, so who's got a body part that hurts? Put your attention on it right now. Just don't avoid it. Don't try to mask it. Just say, right where this pain is, God is. God's right here. God's right here. This is how I heal my body. And I've sprained my ankles. I've twisted my knee. I've done a whole bunch, I've had a horse run over my body and break ribs. And I just put all my attention on the pain and didn't try to say, heal yourself. Just in this pain, God is. In the problem, God is. In the area of growth I've got to take, God is. And then something happens. For me, the swelling goes down and the pain goes away. For me, the problem produces a solution that I could have never thought of. For me, transformational reactions go everywhere, and I just go, praise God. Too many of us, when we're faced with pain, which is emotional, mental, or physical, we try to take a pill, we try to put our attention someplace else, get wrapped up in a Netflix show. I'm now into elementary. Hello, I'm Kathianne, and I'm addicted to elementary. But I don't do it because I'm trying to mask something. I want to think like he does. So do you see, we do all these things, and by putting our attention on it, we are actually inviting love to the party. And love changes everything. And the last one is covenant for love. Make a covenant with the Holy Spirit for love. Because sometimes it's hard. And the more you think you got it handled, He will attract to you a wonderful new opportunity to prove love. Some way, some form, some person. Because that's the way it works. So you covenant with love by saying, I will do nothing to make myself loving or lovable, for that is the action of the Holy Spirit in me and around me. And you let love do its work. You let Spirit do its work. It's easier, actually. So, take a deep breath. And love, like God, has to be invited. It doesn't mean it's always not there. It's always there. But the metaphor that Jesus could use was God stands at the door and knocks. It doesn't bust in. Are you willing to open? Are you willing to be lifted? Are you willing to have things happen for you and not by you? Now, the ego could be a little, how many of you have noticed your ego is going off? Well, what would I do? Just enjoy the day. We can go watch elementary later. See? So, if you ready? Are you open? So I speak the word that love, which is always available, which is a power, is now moving in, through, and as each and one of us. For love is a healing power. Love is a healing power. And we are open to it now. That it may relieve the pains of the day. It may relieve the pains that we foresee in the future. And we become a vortex because love has such a high vibration that the love that we are must be influenced by people all over. So I give thanks that we allow ourselves to not only fill with love, we allow ourselves to emanate that love outside of our body that we may fill this room. And I give thanks that we allow the love in this room to now fill to overflowing, that it just ripples out throughout this community. And there will be someone who's walking the dog and feel that love. There's someone who just got in an argument and feels down about it, but they will feel that love. There's someone that is questioning, should I live or not? But they will feel that love. There's someone who wants to do harm to themselves or someone else, but they will feel that love. There's someone that's depressed, like, oh, it can't ever get any better. No, they will feel that love because we feel that love. But you have to say yes to love. Now let it flow from you and be the healing power for all that will be in your presence this week. And so it is.